Hey everyone, it's Keri TV, and today I'm going to touch on January 2019, the real estate market, the trends, where we think it's going, and what's happening in this current moment. So stay tuned. So what's happening right now in the market? Of course, there's a ton of buzz. Last October, everything came to such a screeching halt. It was crazy. As predicted, things really picked up this January. We're back into offers. Things are moving. I think it's a better time than ever to be in the market because it's not so crazy competitive. So recently, I was at a meeting with specialists from CAR, California Association of Realtors, some top execs from Goldman Sachs, and they shared their insights in what's happening in the market. And these aren't people that only predict positive or negative, they just present facts. So some of the things we took away, which has been consistent with all the, not media, but all the specialists these days right now about what's happening. So they say that prices will continue to rise, but that it will be a much slower pace of growth. If you have been in the market in 2017 and 16, you know that you were running a sprint. You were not jogging, you were not walking. Everybody was running around like crazy trying to get into a property. Sellers were always getting offers over asking in most cases. Of course, every case is different. So for 2019, Goldman Sachs says that the growth will be slower. It will not be like the boom that it was in 2016, 2018. There's not a crisis going on. There's a very low risk of a recession per Goldman Sachs. And the reason why it may feel like a drastic halt is because when things are rising really, really fast and they start to slow down and level off and go up slowly, it feels like you're going from 80 miles an hour to 15 miles an hour. Imagine being in a car going that fast, boom, stopping. So it feels a lot crazier than it actually is. But it's important to look at what the facts are. In addition to that, in 2017, home prices in California rose 7.2%. So 7% on your money, 2017. 2018, they also rose 7%. So that's really good increase in the last 2 years for 14%. They predict this year that it's going to be 3%. Now, I have heard from many, many specialists over the last month that the rise will be anywhere from 2 to 4%. So that means if you're a seller, you should still consider selling. You're not going to get a crazy amount above what the last person sold for. But if you price your property competitively and in line with the market and allow a little bit more time for it to sell, you will sell. Buyers, you should still definitely be in the market and not expect to get a better deal in 2 years or so because prices are still going up. But what's more important, which I've spoken about many times, is about the interest rates. So they just had a rate hike in December, and then they are expected to have 4 more. The Fed is going to raise the interest rate 4 more times in 2019. So that means every time the rate goes up, the price of the home you're trying to purchase also goes up because of your cost to purchase, and your debt to income ratio also changes. So people may be asking, why did things slow down at the end of last year? Well, a few things. One, prices were getting crazy high, so people were like, I'm over this, I'm not buying this, I'm not paying this much. 2, when the interest rate went up, people took a step back because they were already on the brink of not being able to afford something. The third one is the tax law change, which in all reality, you should speak with your tax specialist because it equates. There's some differences in the tax write-off, so when you speak with a specialist, you'll know that it actually doesn't impact you too much. So the lack of knowledge of the tax law change is what also slowed things down. A little bit of the tax tariffs and a little bit of stock validity scared people off a bit, but that number of things along with the midterm elections made things slow. But the biggest reason, prices got too high. Interest rates start rising. If you're a first-time buyer or you're a move-up buyer, you're like, whoa. Even people looking for income property, they were having a hard time getting anything that makes sense financially. So this slowdown is welcomed, and hopefully people will be able to get on board and understand you can't price your property too high and that buyers can still get a great deal, which is really awesome. The advice, like I said, buy the right property, do your research, and if you're selling, don't be afraid to put your house out there. Just do what you need to do to get it ready. So that's the roundup that I have from this awesome meeting with Goldman Sachs and CIR. So of course, always consult your specialist and be prepared for the market. But I'm super, super excited for January for this entire year and even January, but again, when am I not excited about everything, kind of. So thanks guys for watching today, and stay tuned for more tips from Keri TV, bringing you the latest. Cheers.